All right, we're streaming. Live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, August 22nd, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice, and, of course, all our socials. Welcome on in, everybody, to a busy Thursday night. Night 4 of the DNC. Got the boys here. Mine is Slick Rick, who's off tonight and tomorrow night before his president of the chamber something or other that he does. So he's got his yearly get-together. I think it's his, I don't know what
is it a parade?
It's carnival.
Oh, it's a carnival.
Yeah. I think he marches around in a crazy suit and a big hat, kind of like does the show every night.
Pretty much.
And people come up to him, and so he's like the grand master of all ceremony over there. So Slick will be off tonight and tomorrow. Delgado will be off tomorrow. So me and Kevin Downey Jr. will take you tomorrow night. President Trump will be speaking tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah?
Probably going to start before us, but it'll probably go into the 8 o'clock hour. So we'll listen to the president and take that. Kevin Downey Jr. is here again tonight. How are you?
I'm groovy, thank you, sir. I'm groovy. A big show coming up. Big show at McGuire's Comedy Club here on Long Island.
Oh, good.
Next weekend, govs.com, GOVS. Get your tickets for the most patriotic comedy show on Long Island. That night.
If you're in the tri-state area and you can make it to McGuire's?
Yes, sir.
McGuire's, I mean, great place to see Kevin do his thing. So check it out and get your tickets if you're in the tri-state area. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do the news. How are you, besides tired?
I am tired, but I think it's because I ate too much. I had to cook a bunch of food that I wasn't going to be able to eat over the weekend, so make sure it doesn't go bad, and I ate a lot of it.
So is that your
full?
Right. So instead of letting it go bad, just cook it all, then eat it all.
Cook it and eat it.
Okay.
What the hell?
All right. That sounds good.
I made some nice chicken wings with honey barbecue.
I can smell them out in the kitchen that you brought. Oh no, you didn't.
Oh, that's right. I didn't bring it.
Oh, you didn't bring it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
He didn't want to eat it all, but he didn't want to bring it to us.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, it's night 4. Thank God, last night of the DNC, a historic night. That's what we're being told. It's a historic night.
Is it
a historic speech?
Okay.
A historic speech, and what's historic about it is it's going to be somebody who has never won a primary vote when they've been on the ballot. And they are going to give the acceptance speech of their party, having never won a primary vote ever in the time they've been on the ballot. That is historic. It'll also be historic because it'll be somebody who not only has not won a primary vote, but was smack dab knee deep in the coup against the sitting president that they took and just basically threw out the window to install her. And they say there's going to be some special guests tonight.
Oh, really?
And I'm wondering if the special guests might be some of Kamala Harris's policy prescriptions, since we have not heard about one of them this whole week at the DNC convention. Not a one.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like celebrities and cool people like that.
Well, here's the list. We've got the. I'll just go in order which I think they'd like them to show up. I don't know which one it'll be, if any. A would be, of course, T Swizzle, Taylor Swift. B would be the Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
And C, believe it or not, I've heard tossed around, and this one actually would not surprise me. Globalists Unite would be George W. Bush.
Oh, George W. Bush.
That is correct.
Get out of here!
I swear to God, that's the scuttle.
Are you serious?
Well, he can't hate Trump anymore. Of course, the whole family. And then you got Obama and Bush. I mean, you got Obama and Clinton the last couple nights, and of course, the three of them are like buddy. You see them in these pictures, and it's like, globalists unite. We've got to defeat the guy who's gonna, right?
Yeah.
Drain the swamp.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I didn't hear that rumor. I'm all for a good rumor and a great theory, but I didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
Though if that were to happen, part of me wouldn't be surprised, because like you said, all these scumbags kind of travel together. They're just they're just part of that blob. And if anything, that would prove to everyone that this is a coordinated, when they say the deep state, that would be the proof. That would be the cherry on top. Having former President Bush come and speak at the DNC.
Yes.
I mean, at least he'd probably do better than Clinton did last night. Oh my goodness, what a disaster that was.
I would think he's probably in a little better shape.
Yeah.
I see now how Bill Clinton roofies women. He talks.
Yeah. What? Yes, exactly. So we'll see. I don't know if any one of them will show up or if all three of them will show up. But it's going to be lit either way at the DNC Night 4. And, of course, all leading up to, I guess, another late night. The timing of this is just beyond my ability to understand. Probably, I guess, midnight?
Really?
11:30, midnight, Kamala Harris?
She's going to speak at that time?
Well, Elizabeth Warren has already been on stage crying.
Oh, good.
So we're off to that start. I was surprised to see Roy Cooper is going to be the last speaker before Kamala. I don't know who's going to...
Who's Roy Cooper?
He's the governor of North Carolina.
Oh.
I don't know exactly who's going to introduce her, if he's going to do it or someone else is going to do it, but he's the last speaker before she takes the stage. But you've got the governor of Massachusetts. She's a total disaster. Maura Healey. She's going to speak tonight. You've got Deb Haaland. She's one of our favorites that when she's in committee, John Kennedy always gets to ask her questions that she doesn't know about, things that are in her department. You've got Alexandra Frost, member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Florida. Colin Allred, House Representative from Texas. All in the 8 o'clock hour. Some content creator I've never heard of. Some youth organization and human trafficking survivor, I don't know, Courtney Baldwin. She's going to speak. You've got this group that's supposed to be coming out, I guess, right now. Amy Resner, Carrie Delaney. I mean, who cares? Then you've got joint remarks on a new American chapter from a bunch of people. New Jersey, Florida, Colorado, Nevada. Again, I don't know if any of these are going to have any policy prescriptions, since we've heard none this week from any of these people. And then you've got the Dixie Chicks, or now as they're called, I guess, the Chicks, doing the national anthem at 9 p.m.
Okay.
And the girl who sings lead for them,
Natalie Maines, is that her name?
Let's hope Natalie finds the salad bar before she takes the stage and not the burger joint, because man, oh man.
Now, why aren't they the Dixie Chicks anymore? Was that the Southern?
I don't know. Probably, yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
So they made millions of dollars as the Dixie Chicks, and then found them. It's kind of like how a serial killer finds God after he's been arrested.
Yeah. Yes. And they all have three. They all have three names, by the way.
Yeah.
Kerry Washington is your host tonight. Then you've got another group of joint remarks. Mina Harris, who I'm assuming is related to Kamala. Ella Emhoff, related to obviously Emhoff. And then Helena Hudlin, who I don't know.
Oh,
then
she's related to Hudlin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you've got D.L. Hughley. That lame-o. He's like not a wannabe, but he's like a comedian dude, right?
Yep.
Makes terrible movies. Then you've got some sheriff from Michigan. Then you've got Lucy McBath. I mean, this is, again, she's not going to take the stage. Then you've got Gabby Giffords from Arizona. Then you have a performance from Pink.
Now, do they actually want people to tune this in and watch?
I don't know.
Like, most of these names are just...
This is why I'm going through it.
I don't know who you're talking to.
We're already in almost, if they're on time, this is already getting close to 10. Mark Kelly from Arizona. Leon Panetta, that creep.
He's a closer. He's
Ruben Gallego, the guy they think is going to beat Kerry Lake out there in Arizona. And then you've got Ava Perone. Ava Perone speaks supposedly right before 10 o'clock. And then at 10, you've got Eva Longoria. I mean, who wants to sit through this? Adam Kinzinger. I said this last night. When's Kinzinger going to take the stage? Well, there you go. Here he is. Kinzinger takes the stage.
Crying Kinzinger.
Yeah, that lame-o. Maya Harris, again, I think for the second time tonight.
Who?
then the Honorable Roy Cooper, from governor of North Carolina, and then Kamala Harris, the vice president, which is going to be probably, if I had to guess, 11 o'clock. Who is their audience on this?
I don't know.
They've got to be shooting for the West Coast, but they've already got California, Oregon,
kind of locked up. So why would you focus on them? It makes no sense.
I mean, the timing of this thing is strange. So anyway, speaking of wackos with three names, let me bring you some good news here to start the show. And great job by law enforcement. Arizona authorities have arrested the man accused of threatening to kill President Trump today. The arrest comes hours after the Cochise County Sheriff's Office launched the manhunt for 66-year-old Ronald Lee Servud, I guess it's pronounced. I'm not sure. Arizona authorities captured the man on Thursday afternoon that they believe threatened to kill former President Donald Trump during his visit to the border state. The arrest comes hours after the Cochise County Sheriff's Office launched the manhunt for 66-year-old Ronald Lee Servud. The Sheriff's Office said the arrest occurred around 2:30 local time, and the official charges are still pending, according to Fox News. So good thing they caught this guy.
Yeah.
This bastard was out there, and they got him. So
yeah, and from what I understand, they had a lot of help from local people who knew where this guy was and helped track him down.
This guy's got outstanding warrants in Wisconsin and other places, Arizona for hit and run, felony failure to register as a sex offender. The threat comes to Trump, obviously, just a month after what happened in Butler, PA. So good for them for catching this guy. And I saw President Trump out there today at the border, and everybody seemed a little on edge. He was talking to a reporter from News Nation, and he said, "I can't talk to you because we're in danger standing here." And he left.
Yeah, he said the same thing when he was talking to the Fox News girl. He said, she asked him a question. He's like, well, it's kind of dangerous for us even standing here having this conversation, me answering this question. So, kind of crazy. But he while he was down there, and I don't think we have the clip. She asked him about the threat. The gentleman who was making the threat said he's in custody. He said, I heard about that, but I have to do my job. It's a job. It's a dangerous one, but I have to do my job, Trump said.
I think he said that, though, before the guy was captured, didn't he?
Could have been. I'm not sure.
I said,
I just saw a quick clip of it.
Yeah. Well, I saw him talking to the reporter from News Nation, and I don't think it was that he didn't want to talk to her. Although it kind of came across like he was like, but he said, we're in danger.
Right. Standing still.
And they don't want me standing here, and they don't want you standing here. So let's, basically like, I'll talk to you later. Now, the other thing in Just the News that caught my attention today was this headline: Trump leads Harris by 11 points among independents. Among all likely U.S. voters, former President Donald Trump is leading Vice President Kamala Harris by 3 points, but 11 points among independents. So we'll get into a little bit of that. Plus, we'll watch the DNC. Night 4, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
He's pulling double duty. I'm the only one here. They all ran away. Kevin walks in with his Uber Eats pizza, and everybody goes a running.
Uber Eats pizza.
Let's check out the social medias. Let me check in on the Rumblers and the Twixers. And the YouTubers, I don't really do a lot on Facebook. I find it difficult.
Oh, see, I like Facebook because I can respond if I'm fast
too,
enough.
But it just seems like it's always having a problem with my browser. Maybe it's my browser. I don't know, but Rumble comes up nice and easy. It's all good. All good in the Rumble hood.
All good in the Rumble hood.
First, let's see who we got over there. We already got 600 people in there. Howdy, Rumblers. Wabadoo. Motoron says, my browser makes you look fat. Hey, thanks. BWAG is in there. Dogs for Me is in there. From Waldo, Florida. Super Cymatic says, hello, Pico Delgado. That would be me.
That would be
the Hoser 56 is in there. The Hoser 56 says, I'm with Big D. Always check the odds makers instead of the polls.
Yeah, well, we said that last night, right?
Yep.
We did.
Jay Gilmore 55 just types in pizza, wasted aliens, and beer. D Coco Nut is in there. Frederick Leathers, always a good follow in there. Kurt Wavery is in there. And again, this is all just people in the Rumble chat, the Rumble chat. Razu 76 is in there. Kurt Waver, I think I just said that. Cody 22. So let me go check. Let me go see what's going on in the Twitch.
You want to throw the throw that up, Aaron, so we can kind of keep track of who's what's going on when we come back.
Right now I'm in the Twixers.
If you're following on social media, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, night 4 of the DNC, where we get a historic speech. Why is it historic? Is it historic because of what she's going to say? No, who cares? We don't know what she's going to say. No one cares what she's going to say. She's going to say nothing. Is it historic? We're going to get a new direction for America? No, of course not. Why is it historic? Well, it's historic because because she's a woman and she's black or Indian or whatever else she claims to be. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what it's going to be. No, we've heard basically, I mean, does anybody on night 4 have a better idea of what Kamala Harris would be as the president of the United States, what she would support, other than pretty much the disastrous desecration of the country and of your financial life? Other than that, we know what she supports: unrealized taxing unrealized gains, raising every tax she can, letting illegals buy new houses, $25,000 for first home. I mean, there's very few policies that we can put our fingers on that we know, and I don't suppose we're going to hear any tonight either.
No. You know what would be interesting though, because you bring up the tax policy that she's touting, the 25% unrealized gains and stuff like that. Having that question actually brought up at the debate. I wonder if any of the deep state reporters will bring that up. Talking about policy and economics for people to kind of let her espouse and explain what is going to happen with this. And I'm sure she'll lie about it. And that's where, Trump can come in like the battering ram that he is and just say, look, you don't understand. People don't believe what she's saying. Here's what it actually means to you at home. You have a house, and we've talked about it a bunch, where anything that has gone up in value, and that would have to be, I guess, somebody from the government is going to magically determine what the value of your house or any of your anything that you've invested in. They'll tell you what the value is, and then they'll tell you what you owe them. Even though you may not have cashed anything out, you may not have sold anything, you may not have profited. It's just gone up in value, as things do, especially real estate over time. Explain that in a setting like the debate. If he gets the opportunity, and he should, even if the question isn't asked, he should bring it up, and just bludgeon her over the head with this, and then say, "Okay, you're up. Am I wrong?" And just have her now try and spin her way out of it.
Well, I mean, it sounds good. It sounds good in theory, but in one of your theories. But in real, I mean, you're never going to get a question like that asked from who's doing the first debate? ABC?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I said, even if it's not brought up, he should bring it up.
And you know what I think? I think the value of your house and how much you pay just might come down to your ESG score. Oh, look what Damon Roberts said. He said men can't have babies. His house just went up another $148,000. He'll owe us for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically an ownership tax. It's an ownership tax. That's what they want. They'll call it a wealth tax, stealth tax, whatever you want to call it, taxing unrealized gains. It's basically it's an ownership tax. They get to run the Ponzi scheme by printing dollars, inflating all of assets, and then telling you what you owe them. You'll have nothing in like it.
Yeah, because you'll have to get rid of it.
You won't be able to keep a house. You wouldn't want to because you want to pay 25% on the estimated value. By the way, what happens if it goes up? You pay that, and then the next 3 years it goes down.
Yeah,
you're going to go back to them and say, "Hey, where's my money back on the?" I mean, it's one of the single worst un-American ideas that's ever been proposed. Both Biden and her support it. And trust me, people say, "Oh, Congress will never pass it." If it's a Democrat-controlled Congress, they will.
Yeah.
Yep. This is created to tear everybody down. This is to make everyone at the same socioeconomic level. You own a house where you're going to lose it because these poor people, they don't have them. So now we all have to be, remember, it's Marxism, we all have to be equal, except for people like the Obamas who have 4 mansions and will not be taxed on any of them.
Yeah. So just getting back to the other story in Just the News today, I just want to go quickly through this. Then we'll do some news with Delgado. GOP president nominee Donald Trump leads Vice President Harris by 11 points among independents, according to a recent poll. Rasmussen Reports released the poll on Thursday showing that 51% of likely independent voters would vote for Trump in the November presidential election, while 40% would vote for Harris. Trump was up by 9 points last week in the same survey. Among all likely U.S. voters, 49% said they'd vote for Trump, while 46% said they vote for Harris. The Democrat presidential nominee gained a point since the prior week's poll. I heard some talk today about the president announced on, I guess, Truth, that he was going to have a special guest with him on Friday. Yeah. Since we were in the day of announcing special guests, as the DNC's been doing all day, President Trump decided to put out that he's going to have a special guest on Friday. Most people think, again, the rumor mill runs wild, that it's going to be RFK Jr. and that they've struck some kind of deal. I heard a lot of talk today about this. Delgado, I'll come back to you. We talked about it last night. A lot of people are convinced this hurts Trump because Kennedy was out there as an alternative for people who really could not stomach Biden, now Harris, and wanted an alternative. And now, under no circumstances would those people vote for Trump. So he drops out, endorses Trump. Those people have either no votes, don't vote, or have to go back to her. And in the end, they say, in the end, net, it hurts Trump for him to drop out.
Yeah, I still don't see that, because if they were so opposed to both Biden and Trump,
Biden and Harris, we're talking about.
Right, but before that, it was Biden and Trump. And then now it's Harris and Trump, and they're still supporting RFK. Those are the people that are probably going to be like, I'm not voting for either one of them. I'm staying home.
Well, that was part of their conclusion. They either now have to stay home or they have to hold their nose and vote for Harris, which they don't want to do. But they say net again, it hurts Trump because he won't bring as many. People are thinking, he's going to bring a lot of the maybe independent or undecided or people who were really objecting, kind of more center, objecting to where the Democrat Party's going, and not so sure he's going to do that.
No, I see more of a blue dog Democrat would support RFK.
But will they support Trump if RFK's not a choice? The answer is probably no.
I don't know. I don't think it hurts Trump either way. I think it hurts the Democrats more. Again, Kennedy is a brand for the Democrat Party. Always has been. He's been attached. His family name has been attached to Democrats for as long as anybody can remember. The people that are supporting him usually are Democrats, right? I mean, if let's look at it this way too. Anybody who says, "Oh, I'm a Republican, but I'm supporting RFK," then you're not really a conservative. You're not really a Republican. You're one of the you're like a member of Congress who runs as a Republican, and then you get in there and you vote with Democrats all the time. So those people are out there, and those are the types that probably would support an RFK.
Now,
but that's just me.
I think the libertarians and the independents are going to say, all right, I have a choice. It's Trump, we were profitable, prosperous, and safe, or it's a stinky Marxist. What are they going to go with? I think your libertarians are going to go with Trump. Independents are going to go with Trump. And you'll have a few that go to Kamala because Orange Man bad and tweets are naughty. But I think him dropping out helps Trump because I think he was taking some Trump voters away. Now, I think a lot of people don't want to sit this one out. A lot of people realize this is all hands on deck. We're this far away from cricket pudding, and I think enough people are seeing it.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll do an instant poll tonight. I like doing these polls. 1 for helps, 2 for hurts. Maybe we'll do an instant poll. Maybe we could do that now in the chat. 1 helps Trump, 2 hurts Trump. RFK dropping out. Let's put it in the chat. We'll see who wins.
The other 2 are eating. I'm not eating.
I'd say the ones win right now on this poll.
So what was 1 for anyway?
Helps.
Helps Trump?
I've only seen like 2 twos.
Yeah, I don't think any of it actually hurts him. Especially if Trump offers him a role in the administration, then it'll be easier for these people to hold their nose and be like, well, he is reaching out and he brought in RFK and that kind of thing. I don't know. I truly don't know. What kind of pizza did you get? Is it bacon? I don't smell the bacon. Usually I can smell the bacon. I mean, look at this honker. I should be able to smell the bacon. Anyhow. All right. Here we go. What else do we got? What do we got? No?
Beyonce to perform at DNC. Lori Cox.
That's the name that they really want.
Well, I don't think so.
You don't think?
Beyonce is no surprise.
Yeah.
We know who she's supporting. I think T Swizzle would be the bigger get, but I don't think they'll get her.
I don't think that's good.
Where are we? Who's up there? Anybody can tell? Are they on schedule or, you know? All right, so maybe when we come in, let's throw that up in the middle so I can see. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, August 22nd. Real America's Voice, glad you're part of the show. As always, when we went to break, we asked the chat for ones and twos. Ones helps, two hurts. Ones definitely won that one for sure. That Kennedy dropping out and coming over and endorsing Trump will help Trump. And so we'll see if that, in fact, is what happens on, tomorrow. So it should be an interesting day tomorrow. Kevin Downey and I will be here tomorrow night. President Trump will be speaking twice tomorrow. Once in Nevada. And then once, I guess, in Arizona at TP Action with Charlie Kirk and the gang. He'll be speaking there. And that's the one he'll probably be going right into about the 8 o'clock hour. So we'll pick it up after the president's done. So it should be an exciting night tomorrow night. Tonight will not be an exciting night, but we will track what's going on at the DNC right now. It looks like they have a video playing. They're already behind, it seems to me. We'll see who the next speaker is here. Throw it up in the middle, Aaron, so I can see exactly what's going on, and we can
a whole lot of nothing.
See where we are here.
Who's
okay, that's Ruben Gallego, I believe. Maybe not.
The Trevor
okay,
Noah?
Maxwell Frost. Okay,
you were close.
He's about as radical as they come. This guy, I've listened to him in these conferences. He's all for no police as well. So he fits right in. So there you go, Maxwell Frost. Okay, so they are behind. So again, she'll take the stage around 1 o'clock in the morning probably. So, now they are. Okay. All right, very good. 31 past the hour. Let's do some news. We'll start with news with Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by our friends at 7cells, 7cells.com. LFS6B is the code to use at checkout, 10% off. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, in terms of the DNC, of course.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, bless you. In terms of the DNC, of course, plenty of speakers still to come. One person who's going to be doing his own commentary on the speech by Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be former President Donald Trump, believe it or not. Did you hear about this?
No.
This might be worth staying up for, as former President Donald Trump on Thursday plans to offer live commentary on Vice President Kamala's speech at the Democratic National Convention. The DNC in the fourth day, and Harris is expected to cap off the evening. According to a Truth Social posting, he says, I will be doing live play-by-play on Truth Social of Comrade Kamala Harris's speech tonight on the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. He announced this on Truth Social. Like I said, this story coming from John Solomon's Just the News. We will start at 10 p.m., he said, Eastern, and be covering and commenting on some of the earlier speeches made prior to hers. So he's going to be doing like we're doing right now. He's going to be doing his own Mystery Science, Trump Science Theater commentary. I wonder if he'll have anybody with him commenting on He probably will. I would think so, right?
Yeah. He's going to have it's one of those Howard Stern things where everyone writes in and sends him the jokes.
Right.
And then he reads them, maybe, something like that. But he's actually a pretty funny guy.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe he brings in, maybe one of his sons or somebody who's wherever he is. I guess. Is he still out west? I'm not sure. But according to this, he said she became the nominee without receiving one vote, stealing the nomination from crooked Joe Biden, who earned it by getting 14 million votes, he went on. I'm no fan of Biden, who is the worst president in the history of the United States, and likewise, she is considered to be the worst vice president and border czar in the history of the United States. But Biden got shafted, he wrote. We will expose all of her radicalism, the horrible job she did at the border, crime and foreign relations, and her weaponization against her political opponent using corrupt prosecutors in courts in New York, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta. I hope everybody will be following along on Truth Tonight, he concluded. Throughout the week, Trump has held counter-programming to the DNC, going around visiting the border like he did today and making speeches, with him and his supporters hosting themed events in key battleground states. He plans to address immigration. Of course, he did that today down at the border at a separate event. So that'll be some good fun. Starting at 10 o'clock tonight. You can tune in if you're not on Truth Social already. Maybe you should get on there because he's going to be doing his own commentary, his own breakdown of Kamala Harris's speech, along with other speeches that he says he's going to be doing. So that sounds like a good time. Also, this story, which kind of came out the other day, I've been trying to get to it. Wednesday morning, Brianna Morello obtained a letter from the chairman judiciary, Representative Jim Jordan, concerning the alleged weaponization of federal surveillance powers. The Judiciary Committee is requesting all documents and communications between and among TSA and other executive branch agencies or officials referring and relating to the surveillance of former Representative Tulsi Gabbard and other federal elected or appointed officials for the period January 20th, 2021 to the present. The letter follows a breaking story from Uncover DC and Brianna Morello exposing the active surveillance of Representative Tulsi Gabbard as part of the TSA's Quiet Skies program. The judiciary is concerned that the executive branch agencies may be weaponizing. Yeah, you could say they probably are. Surveillance powers against its political opponents, one of which Tulsi Gabbard. The January 20th 21 date corresponds with President Biden's inauguration, but it is only a few weeks after January 6th Capitol protests. It's not just Gabbard who is being surveilled. Whistleblowers from the FAMS, that's the Federal Air Marshals, report that many who attended January 6th have also been placed on the Quiet Skies list, including the infant son of one of the protesters. So another just insane deep state scandal, as Jordan is ordering the information and all communications regarding the weaponization of the surveillance state, basically against political opponents, just like they did to Trump, just like they've done to a lot of people. It'll be interesting to see what other stuff they can uncover on this. And again, it's whistleblowers bringing it to their attention.
I mean, you could just imagine the lists and the other things that they have that, you're probably on, I'm probably on, he's probably on, that we don't know about or may never know about. Or you'll find out about you're on the list when you go to, do something or fly or who knows what.
Uh-huh.
Like you can just imagine the list they've got.
I'm flying tomorrow.
Oh, well.
I wonder if I'm going to be getting a cavity search when I get there.
I mean, you could be on who knows? You could be on the UF. I mean, you could be on any list. I mean, who knows what list you're on? I mean, but no, to be serious, you could just imagine what they're doing. If they're doing this to Tulsi,
yeah.
Think about what they're doing to, any conservative speaker, talking head on the right. We know what they did to parents at school board meetings. We know what who knows what they're doing? Yeah. This is why Trump is a threat to all of this. This is why, you see this guy in Arizona. You see what happened with this guy Crooks.
Mm-hmm.
Had a story on his phone, by the way, yesterday, but I didn't get to it. It was in the New York Post about it having some encryption over in Belgium. I don't know.
He had 3 encrypted accounts overseas. Yeah. One of them in Belgium, the other one in Germany.
Everybody has that, right?
Right, yeah, of course. But meanwhile, the FBI...
I just refreshed my one the other day,
The FBI keeps telling us, he really doesn't have a social media footprint. Yeah, sure. Of course.
So you see him, and of course the DNC and the Democrats didn't care that day happened, never have, never will. And how do I know that, Damon? That's pretty vicious to say. Well, here's how I know, because they're still talking like they did before it happened. And the ringleader of all of that would be one Botoxed face. We're not really sure what fell out of her pants last night, and as we missed that. I don't know
I didn't
how
see
we
that.
missed it. We pick up on everything, and we missed that. But that would be Nancy Pelosi, and she went on MSNBC today, and you wonder how a guy in Arizona, like this lunatic who was out there, gets motivated when all he hears from the DNC all week and from people like Pelosi is things like this.
We have to defeat a person who is a threat to our democracy of the kind that we have not seen. At the beginning of our country. Thomas Paine said, the times have found us. Declare war. Establish a new nation. Abraham Lincoln took up that charge to keep our country together years later, decades later. And now the times have found us to save our democracy. That is what we are here to do.
So this guy in Arizona thinks, I could save democracy. Watch this. And this is where you get these lunatics.
Yeah, it's almost like she's advocating for more attempts on President Trump's life.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not think that?
I got that feeling watching the whole convention. They want another knucklehead to take a shot. And everything they said, remember, Julie Kelly said, why didn't Obama come out and say, hey, let's not have any more violence, and then go after Trump? But it was just Trump, 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 existential threat, Trump, Trump, Trump. They know what they're doing. They know that there are enough crazy people out there that someone's going to try it again.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. They act as if 4 weeks ago never happened. I mean, we don't even talk about it. They're trying to memory hole the whole thing like it never happened. They haven't changed the way they talk about them, and that's on purpose. That's on purpose. I don't know how else you can take it. When you continue to hear, when you already need a checkup from the neck up, like I guess this guy and most people probably do, who think about doing these kind of things. When you keep hearing that this is a threat like we've never seen before,
right?
What do you think one of these guys is going to do? This is how you end up with a day like today, where the president can't even go out there. Their candidate's not dealing with this nonsense. He can't even go out there and feel safe and go out there and campaign and go out there and go to the border and meet with can't even do an interview with some lady holding a microphone in front of us. He says, we're not safe standing here. I got to go. And it's all by design.
I also noticed he was taken peacefully. I remember an older guy in, I forget where, I want to say Washington, the FBI shot him. Older guy, I think he was walking with a walker, and suddenly their cameras don't work. Let's see we didn't turn them on. This guy somehow.
I remember that one. That story.
Yeah, that's a little weird to me. It's funny how someone's trying to kill our guy. That just take him.
And one thing we didn't cover, and if you're paying attention to the Secret Service story and the assassination attempt, again, Bongino does great breakdowns on this nearly every show, but also Susan Crabtree does amazing articles. And did you know that they already cremated the body?
Yeah. We talked about it here on the show. I think you did.
It's just amazing, though. That's a piece of evidence for an ongoing investigation. And they just quietly, without anybody realizing it, we released the body and they cremated it. You only cremate a body when you don't want anybody examining the body, especially when there's an open investigation. So, I know sometimes I get out over my skis, right? But let's face it. Yeah, me. But let's face it. When you look at the abundance of evidence of all the screw-ups, not really screw-ups. They wanted something to happen. They had the opportunity. They took their shot. It didn't go the way they wanted it. Now cleanup mode. I'm just saying.
All right, news with Kevin Downey Jr. when we get back. Plus, we'll see what's going on. Night 4, a historic night, we're told. If Beyonce shows up to tell us all how to vote, oh, man. What a night.
Yeah.
Damon sent you an email.
Yeah, that's it, Fran. We'll go with that one. That's about 224.
Do you want to play it from your laptop, or you want me to try and rig something up here?
No, I'll do it from here.
All right.
I'll do it after the opening. It's top of the hour. All right, 13th to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, August 22nd. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Lots to do. We're going to keep track of what's going on at the DNC. Night 4. What do they got, a choir out there or something? It looks like a group of people out there. Oh, it's on the TV right here. I'm looking at the monitor behind. It's right in front of me. Yeah, I don't know. Well, they got all these groups tonight on the thing. I have no idea what this is. Oh, no,
for a second, I saw 3 idiots up there. I thought you were referring to us.
That was Boy to Men. That's what that was.
Was that Boys to Men?
No, Boy to Men.
Oh, boy to Men, yeah. So we'll keep track of the DNC. I don't know. As you go down the list, who else would be? Forget it, like an A-lister. There's not even. I don't don't even know who would be like a.
Would be like, who do you want to listen to? I was expecting, and you said it last night too. Usually, President Clinton is a pretty good speaker.
Ooh.
Those days have long passed him.
Yeah, that was rough. I gave him a little more rope than you guys did, but I quickly came to the conclusion that you guys were right.
Oh man, the hook was out early as far as I was concerned.
Oh, it was out early for you guys.
He went down like the Titanic.
Well, I'm used to Bubba working the room and really
I know.
kind of the way he does it, and which I thought he kind of started, but then, oh man.
Yeah, he took a dive. Took a header.
took a nosedive into a blue dress. Man.
You know what I found out too about his speech? It was only supposed to be between 10 or 11 minutes long.
Yeah, well, that's never. Forget that with him. That's never going to happen. That never has happened in 12 conventions he's been to. That's never. Yeah. He's always droning on about something.
He always goes into Inagata DeVita mode and just stretches that as long as he can.
That's exactly right. So. All right. Well, again, if we think there's something worth bringing to you, we'll bring it to you. So far, we're 0 for, so we'll see what hour 2 brings.
Well, they're not going to have anyone on tonight that's going to upstage Kamala, so that's going to limit your talent.
So everybody's
that's an interesting That's an interesting point. That leaves the bar somewhat low. Yeah.
Now, I left.
What is this, like the Blue Man, non-Blue Man group? What is this?
It's the White Man group.
The Chicago Pack Drumline.
Okay.
Now, I left early last night, and from what I understand, was the musical guest? Did you guys see the musical guest? Because I heard that was terrible.
John Legend?
Stevie Wonder?
With John Legend and what? Sheila
Oh,
E.
no, no, please.
Oh, okay.
No, I couldn't even take it.
You know what, though? I get hope.
Slick was texting nonstop. He just was ready to jump through the TV. It was so bad, he said.
Yeah. Really?
And they were doing Prince, I think.
Oh.
Yep. I'm getting ready to watch Dexter. My phone's going, wham, wham. I'm going, who can be at this hour? It's Slick. Are you kidding me?
Are you watching Dexter, too?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do some news with the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 10 to 11 weekdays right here in New York, 103.9 LI News. Kevin Downey Jr., what's going on?
Thank you, sir. This is fairly breaking, I guess, and a surprise to no one. New York Post headline: GOP rep Mike Waltz questions whether Trump shooter Thomas Crooks, that's the smelly, pimply-faced incel, took a shot at Trump. Did he act alone during the assassination attempt? Where's the proof? Rep Mike Waltz, Florida, said he's not satisfied with the repeated assertions by the FBI and Secret Service that Donald Trump's would-be assassin acted alone. Waltz told the Post Wednesday that he does not believe the agencies have been able to dig up enough information on the 20-year-old gunman, I don't believe that, to determine for certain that he did not have help planning and carrying out the shooting in Butler, PA. Okay, let me just stop there. And he's already wrong. He's already wrong. They have 3 encrypted messaging apps. I didn't know what that meant. I had to look up what is an encrypted app. And then he's got one in Germany, New Zealand, and where else?
Belgium, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I read earlier today, they said this is the exact type of situation that a terrorist would use. They're not going to have something based in the U.S. They go for these international encryption apps, and they can't get into it. He left no footprint. He can't afford the stuff he had. Range, I don't know what range time is in Butler, but it's not cheap in most places. Ammo's certainly not cheap. And he was practicing sometimes 2 or 3 times, actually 4 to 6 times a month. That's a lot of cabbage right there.
Yeah.
I think, as soon as they said the FBI is in on this, and we've heard nothing. There's nothing more telling than silence.
Right.
You got anything yet? Nope.
Nope, we're working on it, man. He's just as elusive as that bomber from
There's nothing more
6th.
telling than silence. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, thank you. I don't see it. I'll continue a little bit. Waltz, not to be confused with Walls either. This guy's got a T in there, just so you know. He says, we've heard both the Secret Service and the FBI kind of phrase it in different ways. That everything they've seen, based on everything they've seen, he acted alone, and that they have yet to find any co-conspirator. Well, they're not going to, because they are the co-conspirators. That's what me and my little tin hat think about that. Tucker called it. He said they're going to try to put him in jail. They're going to try to bankrupt him. If nothing else works, they're going to kill him. There's nothing left in the playbook. And they've got the people who are behind it doing it. And he says, I find it hard to believe. I want to see where's the proof. How did he learn to build those IEDs? Thank you. How did he learn to install remote detonators? This is the kind of thing that terrorists learn. And we know that Iran has had a mark on Trump's back for almost 3 years now. So he's got the apps that these terrorists use. He's got the know-how for the bombs and to set that stuff up. This is all terrorist training right here. I would not be surprised if there is an Iran link or someone that links him to Iran.
Well, you know what they were talking about that today, that could be possibly the link why he had these overseas encrypted messaging apps. Another thing that came out, and I think this was from Susan Crabtree, about the gun range that he trained at, was frequented by law enforcement and FBI and the like. And it just makes you wonder, it's like, well, how did he end up there? Like, why was he training alongside some of the people from the intelligence community? I mean, I've been to a gun range. I don't know if anybody, I don't think it's one of those where all these guys kind of congregate, but it seems a little suspicious that he would pick this place to go, where all these, intel assets do their training as well.
And you know what? He's wearing a T-shirt that says demolition. Do we know what that is? I heard it might be an online video game, but if you're going to kill a president, that might be the shirt you wear.
Well, as I've said all along, we've said on the show, I keep looking for the thing that, makes me not want to be with Mike Waltz.
Yep.
But it's just, we just haven't found it. Everything that's come out. And then, you notice how they're really just trying to hope it goes away.
Yeah.
Trying to be as silent about this as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even talk about it anymore. Democrats are back to the old language as if it never happened. They don't even care that it happened. I'm convinced there's not one of them that actually gives a damn that someone tried to take the right side of his head off. And very well could have.
Yeah.
And they don't care. You'll never convince me that there's one of them who cares. And they're back to talking their old ways. And there's nothing that has been presented to make any reasonably thinking person that this was just as they would like us to believe, some 20-year-old kid who would decide, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm kind of bored today. This is what
Yeah, got lucky. There's no way you get that lucky.
Come on. Stop.
This is directly out of their 1963 playbook. Let's get a wacky lone wolf, and when he's done, we'll kill him. When he's done with that, and then we'll just say, well, he acted alone, and then we'll investigate our own crime.
Right.
They're going old school on this one.
Yeah, and it was amazing because that day they were like, oh, he was a lone gunman. How'd you know that already? It was day one, and you were complaining you couldn't get into his cell phone.
And you know what I realized after they shot him? They had his ID in moments, and they said, well, they got it through DNA. How did you get his DNA from that rooftop to a lab to say, it's him, we got him?
All good questions. I don't think we're going to get any answers. All right, quick hour one, hour two coming up. We'll keep track of what's going on in the DNC. Live from Studio 6B. We're back after this.
Kevin, you're...
Good. Fatten them up before they take our food away.
Aaron, let's go full when I play this, okay? I'm gonna intro. Somebody call you?
That's weird.
Hi, what's up? All right, hour two, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Real America's Voice. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. Rick Delgado's here as well. Night 4 of the DNC. Kamala Harris gives her acceptance speech after being installed as the candidate who's never won a primary vote, and pretty much has not told us anything about what she wants to do, but she's going to give a historic speech, we're told, tonight, and we'll not be looking forward to that. Now, to start the 9 o'clock hour, the Chicks, I guess they're called now, the Dixie Chicks, formerly, now known as the Chicks.
Yeah, they don't like the Dicks anymore.
Yeah, I guess exactly. They don't like the Dixie anymore, so they got rid of that and just go with the Chicks. They're supposed to sing the national anthem, and of course, we all love the national anthem. But I don't know. I just don't want to hear their version of it. I'd like to hear somebody who actually believes in America, and we know Natalie Maines hates America. So I thought we just play. I'd rather hear a version if we're going to start the second hour with the national anthem.
Okay.
And we're all going to feel patriotic about it and actually listen to something that we think of people who actually believe in the country, support the country, and believe in it, and actually, hear this song and it actually means something. I thought we would be better off listening to this version, so please enjoy. Put your hand over your hearts and let's go.
Sounds like a German World War II marching song.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There you go. That's the version I'd like to hear at 9 o'clock. The J6 Choir, of course, they do that every night. And, of course, President Trump added his voice to it. And I'd much rather hear that than the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah. I was going to say, that sounds like something. Was it Stalag something, the movie, the German movie? Remember, they and they're singing. It was like, I wonder if they made it sound like that. Do you remember, what's the movie where the Americans escape?
I don't know.
Stalag 13, 14, 15, something like that. Reminded me of that.
Yeah. It's called Justice for All, featuring Donald Trump. It's the J6 Choir. And I thought that'd be a better version to listen to than the Dixie Chicks. Have they actually gone?
It looks like they're up there now.
Oh, they're on right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just ending.
Okay. So there's not playing, just a cappella, looks like. Well, yeah, I mean, and I don't know the other two. I guess I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but we know Natalie Maines. I mean, she's been pretty out forward about how she feels. I mean, at that point, it was in reference to George W. Bush, who might be there.
Yeah, who might be there.
I think he's probably not, but that was one of the rumors. But we know how she feels. So, I mean, again, waving the American flag. All this phony nonsense we've seen all week at this convention.
Yeah, normally they're taking the flag down because they don't want to offend.
That's
people,
exactly. That's what's laughable about it. Usually can't find an American flag anywhere at these conventions for the DNC.
You can find a Palestinian flag.
There's a couple right there. I'm so shocked. I don't think those have been there. Have they been there every night?
I don't know. Who's walking out? Who's this?
I have no idea. Oh, this is your host for hour 2, Kerry Washington.
She, of course, is the female who seduced the president in that TV show Scandal. Remember the guy who killed Patrick Swayze?
We saw him the other night. Yeah,
in Ghost.
Okay.
So she was the vixen.
So we haven't heard much policy prescriptions from Kamala Harris. I thought maybe that would be the special guest tonight. Maybe some policy would show up, but probably not. I don't know what we'll hear from her. I really don't care. It's not historic in any way, and it's just this is all smoke and mirrors. This whole thing, this whole week has been nothing but that. But since she represented California, a state that probably could lend you to, look at what's going on in California. She had a hand in destroying that, as now she wants to have a hand in destroying the country. So, when California pops up and you see what legislation her and Newsom are pretty much tied at the hip on what they would support, I would feel. I saw this story. ABC 45 out of California. California advances 0 down, no payment home loans for undocumented immigrants. Come on, Damon, you're kidding, right? Oh, no. The California Senate Appropriations Committee advanced a bill to allow undocumented immigrants to make use of the state's 0 down, no payment home loan program. An expansion the legislature says would create significant cost pressures. The social and economic benefits of home ownership should be available to everyone. As such, the California Dream for All program should be available to all, wrote bill author, Assembly member Joaquim Arumbala, Democrat from Fresno. When undocumented individuals are excluded from such programs, they miss out on a crucial method of securing financial security and personal stability for themselves and their families, says the Assembly member.
So that means I can just fly to Mexico, walk across the border, lose my wallet, and I can get a house.
Yes, you can. And this California Assembly member would be happy to make sure you can, at the expense of who and what. He doesn't care.
All right. Then it's not really a loan if you don't have to pay it back, right? It almost sounds like one of those Biden loans, because he's gotten $8 million so far that they've identified in loans that he's never paid back. I wonder if he's getting those things from California.
AB 1840, which already passed the Assembly and now faces a floor vote in the Senate, would prevent the state's California Dream for All Shared Applications Appreciation Loans program from denying individuals on the basis of their immigration status. This program allows applicants to secure loans of up to 20% of the home's purchase price, or about what a typical down payment is, with 0 down payment on this state loan and no payments.
This is This is smoke and Evan mirrors, man. So you would need to get another loan for the 80%, because the first loan you get is only going to cover your down payment, basically, because 20%, right?
Yeah. But once you're in the home, 20% gets you in, and then after that, you know what it's like to try to get somebody out of a home?
Yeah, but
they're there for years.
Right, but I'm saying you would have to still get that other loan. Like, okay, so you came in with the down payment. Now you're an illegal who's on food stamps or whatever the card they give you to get food, and you got a stipend of what, $3,000 or $5,000 a month. What income do you? Well, who's making these loans?
Well, I mean, come on, Delgado. Don't ask any what are you doing? Don't ask any serious questions here. Come on. Let me finish here. Maybe you'll learn a little more here. Right. The state's loan can potentially be repaid to the state when the home is refinanced, sold, or transferred, with the borrower paying back the original loan amount plus 20% of the increased value of the property. It's not clear what happens if a family decides to hold on to a home, as there are no provisions on how long a property can be held for, which means certain kind of trust can potentially allow the loan to not be paid back. The Appropriations Committee analysis said expansion would create unknown significant cost pressures. Oh, you think? Potentially in the millions annually to provide additional funding for the Home Purchase Assistance Program to accommodate the expanded eligibility population, which basically means anybody and everybody. This year, 18,000 individuals applied for the $255 million loan program through a lottery, leaving 1,700 lucky winners with up to $150,000 each towards the down payment and the closing costs. President George W. Bush's home down payment assistance program for less qualified individuals is widely blamed for fueling the housing bubble by increasing housing prices and decreasing loan recipient quality that led to the 2007-2008 global financial crisis. Well, if you're worried about quality, like Delgado said, I can't imagine giving 20% down payment on $1 million home to somebody who, well, we don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
And we can't read the contract because it's in every language but English. Everyone coming over the border is going to have a shot at this.
At least in California, the houses are, at least reasonable.
Well, okay, so far from what I've gathered from your reading of this article, so you get a loan for 20%.
Yeah.
So now you still have to come up with the 80%. Chances are you don't have that cash, so you got to get that's your second loan.
No.
But
This first one I don't think counts as you're still your first position. I think would still be the mortgage, like the full.
But you still got to come up with the down payment.
Well, they're giving you
the down payment.
Yeah, for free.
But you still have to get that other loan, that second loan. They're calling this first one a loan.
Yeah, but if you've got 20%, anybody will give you that.
Right, but they don't have 20%.
Yes, they do. They're getting
because I'm saying that they have to get a loan first to get a loan. So you get a loan to get another loan, and then, according to your reading, they have to come up with a third loan so they can pay off the first loan.
I don't think that's what I read, but that's how you took it.
That's
right, Kev?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I didn't read it that way. I read, here's your money for the loan. Enjoy your new house. If you sell it in 4 generations, we'd like a piece.
Right,
yes, exactly.
But it says
exactly.
to pay that back, you would still have to refinance the house under a third loan, basically. Oh, this
behind you, my friend.
This is fine.
Math went over Delgado's head.
Now I know what they're doing.
Okay, he's got it. All right.
This is good.
All right, very good.
This is a solid policy.
Okay, very good.
I see a lot of happy homeowners eating the wall.
Aaron, can you throw the DNC up? We gonna need sound?
Kamala isn't black. I guarantee you this, Kamala's been black a lot longer than Trump's been a Republican. And if he keeps sliding in the polls the way he is, the only way he can keep Kamala out of the White House is if he buys it and refuses to rent it to her.
This is, I guess, D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
Of course, Kamala's
Cat
getting
Williams
broad
was
support.
right.
They
He
got
stinks.
black men for Kamala, white men for Kamala, Latinos and Asians for Kamala. They even have Republicans for Kamala. Republicans for Kamala. I guess Donald Trump will finally know what it's like when you get left for a younger woman.
Real yuck fest.
But
Oh my God.
seriously, Kamala knows the truth about the American dream. That hard work is not enough. Hard work alone is not enough to succeed. That you need access and information and opportunity. And she knows that some folks are often denied those very things. As president, she will give each and every one of us a fair shot in life.
Each and every one of us.
Except,
have to
of
be
course,
equal.
except, of course, if you were
But I have to
caught
admit,
with
I
weed
didn't
in
always
California.
believe that. I mean, if you told me the 15-year-old me would be on stage supporting a prosecutor and a teacher, there is no way that I would have believed you.
Oof. Okay, that's enough of that.
Because of that, I made
DL,
assumptions.
how's the career going there, DL? Man, that's rough. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We unfortunately decided to pull up what was going on there in the break just to hear. And DL Hughley is on stage, and I think he's supposed to be funny. But it's not a real yuck fest, if you ask me. So far, he's been pretty lame with the jokes. And I mean, again, I don't know who this appeals to. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's just nonsense. Just not. What are people getting from this whole 4 days? What are they leaving with? I mean, I know they're leaving with. I posted something today. I saw some mother posted something on Facebook about. I went into the. She laid out this whole thing about groceries, and should probably just pull it up instead of talking about it, Damon. It would probably be more effective showing it. And I thought to myself, this is I guess is the point. And I said, as long as they leave the DNC hating Trump and talking about Project 2025, they figure they won't be thinking about what it's actually like to be living under the Harris-Biden administration. And this woman wrote, my husband and I were talking last night about how a 12-pack of drinks is $9 now, and how in 2020 I used to buy them 4 for $10. I decided to go back into my Walmart app and see what I was paying for a random grocery order. In January 2020, I paid $70.20 for 30 items. I added all of those same items back to the cart again today to repurchase them. Today, those same 30 items were $165.42. That's a $95.22 price increase in 4 years' time. That's a 135.6% inflation percentage. We can't go on living like this. I can't be the only one who feels this way. And I said, as long as the DNC, as long as these people, I guess, leave thinking that Trump's a big threat, he's going to kill Social Security and Project 2025 and the same nonsense they keep saying over and over and over again. I guess people don't care about these like this stuff. They just figure, maybe they'll forget.
That's what they're hoping. They want people to forget, but unfortunately, you're reminded of it every day. You go to the store, or go to the gas pump, or go any place to try and do anything. Prices are out of control. I mean, she brings up the I guess the 12-pack of I'll just say Coke because it's the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, I saw that the other day in the store, and I was like, wait, what? So now they want $11.99 for this? I remember when it was like $5.99. They'd be like, oh, it's on sale. You get 3 for $10 or something.
Yeah.
Now those days are long gone. Those are the bygone days, the good old days of Donald Trump. These days, it's you're paying out the nose and you're not even getting anything. It's amazing to walk out of the store spending $60 and be able to hold everything in one hand that you just got.
Yeah.
That's the crappy part. And that's the part they don't want to show you. Meanwhile, it's just been a constant parade of people that, and it's all enclosed. They're in their convention. They just want to do this. They just want to tell everybody how great it is. Let's show you some celebrities. Let's show you some flash. Let's hopefully you forget.
Can we pull the sheriff up? Because I want to see how a sheriff can go talk at the DNC and what he's going to say.
And unify.
Is he a real sheriff?
Kamala Harris is that leader.
He reeks of Reno 911.
Yeah.
As a prosecutor, Kamala Harris protected us by putting violent criminals and sex offenders behind bars. If I was in a courtroom, she's exactly the tough prosecutor that I'd want to see. As vice president, she served America by keeping us safer. And I can testify firsthand, where I come from, crime is down and police funding is up.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, we honor all law enforcement on this show every single night.
Will unify our country.
But what is this guy talking
about? He will bring us together. Because our country needs a leader who will go toe-to-toe with drug cartels and bullies.
Does that mean
One
Trump's
who has
the bully?
already taken the oath, raised her right hand to advocate for the people. I can tell you in 2020, we were able to turn a protest into a peaceful movement by walking together.
Oh my God! Wow. How long? Enough, please stop. I mean, again, I'm sorry.
He's a kneeler.
I honor all law enforcement all the time, but how'd they find this guy?
Yeah, this guy
Where did they go long and hard to find this guy? How deep did they have to dig?
He's a kneeler. He knelt with all. That's what he's saying, right? He's a kneeler.
That's swear to God. That's why when I said a sheriff I'm thinking, how did they get a sheriff to speak at the DNC? What's he going to say? Well, I wanted to hear what he was saying. What is this guy talking about? Where's he from?
Genesee County, Michigan.
Genesee County, Michigan.
No way. You know what? That's Ann Arbor, I think. And that is Commie Central.
Is it?
Yeah. Ann Arbor, Michigan is Moscow.
I think so. That might be a little strong, no? Moscow.
Without all the really cool buildings.
Yep.
I mean, what's that guy talking about in the 30 seconds we heard? There was like 5 things in that 1 minute what?
Make you scratch your head because she was
alternative reality.
She was behind getting all these violent protesters out on bail. Remember that?
Yeah.
Turning them out so they could attack again. And meanwhile, he's going to sit there and be like, "She's the tough one." She's not tough.
Hey, buddy, 99.99% of your law enforcement companions don't support her.
It's Flint. He's from Flint, Michigan, not Ann Arbor. Also, Commie Central.
I mean, that's embarrassing. I mean, that is truly embarrassing for a law enforcement officer, given what she's been behind and what's going on at the border and what went on in 2020 in the summer of love and everything we saw. The people he serves with under attack from people that she supports and raised money for.
Yeah. To attack them again.
And this guy goes out there and says that's embarrassing. With all due respect. That is embarrassing. All right, let's do some news. We'll keep, I don't know who comes up next. I mean, this for the 4th night, this is, man, like Fran nailed it. I guess they just say, all right, let's just get as boring as possible so that maybe she can look exciting by the time she comes out at 12 o'clock or whatever it's going to be.
If everybody else hasn't been put to sleep by then.
That guy was Chris Swanson. Okay, so now they have what's going on now is this is called a conversation on gun violence.
Oh, we love conversations.
Lucy McBath, representative from Georgia, joined by obviously people from Newtown, Connecticut, Uvalde, Texas, Charleston, South Carolina, And right there, someone from right there in Chicago, Illinois. So that's going to be with this conversation on gun violence. And then we get into Gabby Giffords. Then we have Pink Performance, which is going to be horrendous. Mark Kelly, Leon Panetta, Ruben Gallego, Gretchen Whitmer, Eva Longoria, Adam Kins. I mean, she's not going to take the stage till midnight. Crazy. All right, let's do. Well, we don't have time to do anything right now. We'll have to take the break, and then we'll come back and we'll do some news with Kevin Downey Jr. and with what's your name, Rick Delgado, and we will keep track of what's going on at the DNC.
I thought it was Flint. Maybe it's both. It can't be. It's kind of far away. Genesee County. Oh, it's Lansing. Oh, okay. There you go. I thought Genesee County was where Ann Arbor is, but I think that's Washtenaw, actually. If you're listening, there we go. Genesee County is Flint, Michigan. There we go. I grew up there. Sorry to hear that. I'm from Detroit, so I know your pain. Who just said that? Rose. Yeah, I grew up in Detroit. No, the Flint is not the Flint you grew up in, Rose. And Detroit is not the Detroit I grew up in. Holy moly. Wow, that was I don't know what that was. That was sick. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. And that guy was such a toad. Not even a toad, he was just gestic. I am Officer Cuck. I'm going to kneel with Stretch and Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, was Reverend Al Sharpton really coming? I can't even use the word Reverend with his name. He's grotesque. Pinkenning. Someone lives in Pinkenning. Ooh. They found the one cop. Wow. That was horrific. Yeah, Flint, the bad water place. You got that, Dented Halo?
Live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, 30 minutes past the hour. Real America's Voice. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. Rick Delgado. They both got the news coming up. We're keeping track of what's going on at the DNC as we work our way towards Kamala Harris and her whatever speech tonight she's going to give, which really is going to be remarkable that they can get her through 40 minutes without her having to really talk about anything and how they're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, if you do a lot of Trump bashing, that eats up time.
I would figure it's going to be. I would figure it's going to be more of like her childhood, or to go through her whole life story. I mean, I'm sure she'll touch on Trump at some point. Give us the old, I know Trump's type kind of president because I was so tough as a prosecutor, that kind of nonsense. Right. But when you hear how she's going to lower your grocery bills, just send me a text or an email and let me know that she's talking about that, and I'll turn it on. I got a feeling I'm not going to get any texts or emails tonight on Twitter. By the way, we're on X, 19,800. Love to get that to 20,000. If you haven't subscribed to the X, go over there and subscribe at LFS6P on X. Let's do the news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7cells, 7cells.com. And here with that's Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, since we are talking about the DNC, CNN's own Dana Bash, we just saw the kneeling sheriff up there. She's trying to explain to the viewers.
Yeah, this guy fits right into her description.
Exactly. CNN, of the type of men that the DNC is actually aiming for. Not too much of that testosterone there, Kevin. Just so you're aware. This is cut number 3. Check this out for yourself. CNN's Dana Bash talking about the men they're trying to bring into the party.
But they are doing so in trying to put forward male figures, Tim Walz being one of them, Doug Emhoff last night, who can speak to men out there who might not be the sort of testosterone-laden, gun-toting kind of guy who wants to listen to Hulk Hogan and the kind of players that came out at the RNC, or might want to listen to that, but also, in addition, understand that it's okay in 2024 to be a man comfortable in his own skin who supports a woman. And that's something that they really are trying to work on with male voters beyond the base.
Abby, we were Du bist ein Sitzpinkler.
Yeah.
Sitzpinkler is German slang for a sissy boy who pees when he sits.
I mean, where do you even start with that? I don't even know where to start with that.
This is a national gelding of all men. That's what this is.
And what's amazing is that she's a reporter. She's not even a representative. Well, they are kind of representatives of the DNC, but she's supposed to be there in her capacity as a reporter, asking questions, not trying to explain. Here's what we're trying to do. She shouldn't be the one explaining the outreach to men that the DNC is trying to make here, right? Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy.
I mean, you wouldn't think so, but again, they're the propaganda arm of the DNC, right. So they have no choice but to continue to keep up the act. But I mean, the idea that she describes, like, well, I don't know, like you can't be a wuss. And what did she say at the end? If you're not a wuss, then you can only be a wuss basically to support women. Is that what she said at the end?
I guess not so much testosterone that you're comfortable in your own skin.
Right. So we want you to be a wussy, and only them can support a woman.
Yeah.
Like a strong. Like a guy who would watch wrestling or the WWE or like Hulk Hogan or whatever the hell she was talking about in the first part of that diatribe.
Yeah, wouldn't support a woman.
Couldn't be a good husband or support a woman. What is she talking about? What is wrong with these people in their head? They are sick.
Well, you know what I think she's trying to say is not everyone's going to have as much testosterone as Michelle Obama.
Okay, that's fine. Tim Walz is Richard Simmons on steroids. We don't have a problem with that. We saw him come out there with his Richard Simmons energy. So what? That's whatever. Be you, man. Do your thing. But what is that? It's like everything with these people. It's just all class warfare. Everybody's got to be put in their little box. Everybody's got to be put in their little, this is where you fit. This is where you fit. You don't like you. You don't like him. He don't like her. This can't be this. That can't be that. Ugh, just draining, man.
Divide and conquer. And it's, as we quickly come to a conclusion of the 4 nights, it's basically been, and I found this and I thought, well, this is a great this is a great way to kind of tie up the week. This is what this week at the DNC has been all about. When you think about what they did to Joe Biden to get to this point with Kamala Harris, this is cut number 2. Again, this is what I think, and these guys captured it perfectly with the with this little compilation of what the DNC convention has been all about this week. Check this out.
That's great.
It's been 4 nights of just bashing on Joe and welcoming Kamala. Just a what was that from Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street.
I thought so. Anyhow, turning to some real news.
Well, that's real news.
That's
as real as it real can get. That's exactly what it's been.
The stabbing in the back and the taking out of the old and bringing in the new. Divided Supreme Court earlier today granted a request from the Republican National Committee and Republican leaders in Arizona's legislature to reinstate a law that requires residents to provide proof of citizenship to register to vote using a form provided by that state. The court turned down a request, however, to reinstate a portion of the same law that would bar voters who register using a standard federal form from voting for president or by mail unless providing proof of citizenship.
Do we know why this wasn't 6-3? I mean, we know the 3 weren't going to be. Well, why is it not 6-3?
You know why? Because one of your favorites, Amy Coney Barrett, decided to side with the other 3.
I mean, really, we got to have a discussion. I mean, she is.
Yeah, we thought she was a rock star coming in, right?
Man, oh man. She's the one? She
was the one. The 5 justices, of course, were Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch. They voted to grant everything to fully reinstate the law. The 4 other justices, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Amy Coney Barrett, indicated that they would have denied the RNC's request in its entirety, keeping in place the federal rule. John Roberts and Brett Kavanaugh did not publicly signal how they voted, but they must have provided the 2 remaining votes necessary to revive the portion of the law dealing with the state form. So there you have it. Fairly good news. I mean, we only want citizens, right, to vote in presidential elections. I think that's...
oh, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this once again just shows, you get one of these... And I don't know what we can do about it. I mean, the Supreme Court's to make up what it is, and we always complain that we're two conservative justices away from a conservative Supreme Court. But even where we are now, and people think, oh, this Supreme Court's in pretty good shape. I mean, you see what happens in these, things that were never meant to be rights are all of a sudden rights, and things that are meant to be rights are all of a sudden not rights if one person wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. It's just, I mean, and the Democrats, again, if they were, God forbid, to win, I mean, the Supreme Court is absolutely in their sights.
Yep.
They are looking to stack the court, pack the court, break down the court, do anything they can to break down the legitimacy of the court. And you see things like this today, and it's not meant to be that you're going, whew, okay, non-citizens don't get. I mean, it's not really what it's supposed to be.
No, it's not even supposed to be close. That should have been 9-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what we're left with.
All right, so it looks like Pink is now on stage, and I have. Let me tell you how much interest I have of hearing any of this volume. 0, absolutely 0. Good. It looks like she's screaming already. So, what else is in the news, Delgado?
Let's see. The FBI and other United States intelligence agencies, believe it or not, confirmed Monday that Iran was behind the hacking of former President Trump's presidential campaign. If you believe that one, you're a sucker. Anyhow, the Trump campaign said on August 10th that it was notified by Microsoft that Iran hacked one of its sites.
I think it was a little closer to home.
I think it was a lot closer to home. I think it was probably located, about 5 hours south of us right now.
It's just over there in Quantico, come on.
Yeah, and FBI launched an investigation into a reported hack and found that they had hacked themselves. No, I'm kidding. The Bureau said that the Middle Eastern country has attempted to disrupt both presidential campaigns. We have observed increasingly aggressive Iranian activity. Sure, you have. Specifically involving influence operations targeting the American public and cyber operations, they said in the statement. They've got more to say about this than the assassination attempt. It's amazing. This includes the recently reported activities to compromise former President Trump's campaign, which the intelligence community attributes to Iran. Now, I'm pretty sure there's people in Iran going, wait, that's not us. It's probably the FBI, doing what they do. So there you have it. That story coming from John Solomon's Just the News.
All right, let's do a little news with Kevin Downey Jr., and then we'll do some more when we get back. What's going on, Kev?
This is terrifying. This comes from the World Economic Forum website. They have predictions. Now, remember, they released a tweet in, I think, 2018, where they said, we predict the following by 2030, which will be you will own nothing and like it. You won't eat meat. We're going to gavage a bunch of third world illegals down into the Western world, and there's going to be a new world government. Well, now they released a new one today. And I'll breeze through these quickly. Number one, a new global extremist group is predicted to emerge. And they will be bad. They will be mean. And perhaps it will even leverage AI tools to kick off a new phase of terrorism. So what they're saying is they're going to kick off a new phase of terrorism. It's coming our way. Number two, a cyber pandemic. They said, this is great. This is intentional. Unlike the last software update from the cybersecurity firm that knocked down a bunch of stuff. I'll skip over that. Remember all that stuff went down about a month ago? And they blamed that cybersecurity thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're saying that was an accident. But another one's coming, which will be on purpose. And what they're going to do is they're going to shut down the flights, banks, hospitals, retailers, and other services worldwide. Imagine if a bad actor had done what they had done on purpose. This one will be on purpose and on even a grander scale. Well, the last one was a dry run. We know that for sure. Remember, a month before that, 911 went down in 4 states, and they said, we're putting up a telephone pole in Nebraska, and that's why it went down in Texas. I don't see how that's possible. I think that was another dress rehearsal. And the third one, climate change will claim its first island nation victim. They're not willing to outlaw fossil fuels, and it's unclear what they're going to do. So what's more probable in the meantime is certain island nations will keep fighting this cause as they will be the ones to go down. If these islands do not succumb to climate change soon, or sooner than faster, then they're saying an island's going to disappear. I'm trying to get through the gobbledygook. An island, they're saying, is going to get swamped. And I'm guessing it's going to be Palau or Peleliu because those are military bases near China. So they're saying an island will be swamped because of climate change.
Really?
So
I may have some bad news for all the climate change. Is that what we're calling it now? We may have to rename it. Headline today in Earth Science, the Atlantic is cooling at a mysteriously fast rate after record warmth. The sudden shift in water temperature is puzzling scientists. And as I shared that on our X, I said, wait, time to change the name again. All right, live from Studio 6B, Mark Kelly's on stage at the DNC. Maybe we'll pop in and listen to a little of that when we get back right after this. Let me hear a little Mark Kelly there, if you don't mind.
Americans who have made the ultimate sacrifice are suckers and losers.
Oh, here we go with the suckers and losers again.
If
all
we
they can
fall
do
for
is
that
lie.
again,
That's all they can do.
and make him the commander-in-chief, the only suckers would be us. Kamala Harris knows that standing with our allies means standing up for Americans.
She just hasn't done it for 3.5 years.
She'll keep modernizing our military to support our troops and to support our veterans like our next Vice President, Tim Walz. The world laughs at Trump, literally. But folks, it is not funny. When he was president,
I can see why they passed this guy
that
over.
meant the world was
I actually thought
laughing
he'd
at
be a
us.
better choice than Walz. I'm not sure now.
The threats we face are too serious.
No.
The sacrifices our service members make are too sacred. The alliances we've spent decades building are too critical. That's what's at stake now. And the choice isn't even close. But in Arizona and nationwide, this election will be. We'll win in the same way we launch rockets into space and land fighter jets on an aircraft carrier as one team on one mission. State by state, voter by voter, coming together. No country is better than ours at solving big problems.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. So we were in the break, and we decided to pull up Mark Kelly, who was being bantered around at the time about being possibly the vice presidential pick for before she settled in on Richard Simmons. It was obviously Shapiro, Walz, and Mark Kelly. We just listened to a little bit of Mark Kelly, and I can see why they passed him up. And people were speculating that he would be he might be the best one of the three, but not by the way he gave that talk. Now, here's Leon Panetta, who, of course, is knee-deep in every almost like mob-like gangs with the Clintons and the Obamas. And so I'm sure he's going to tell us about Trump, too. Now, but Kelly was talking about the suckers and losers. So all they can do is get up there and lie. I mean, I don't know, Charlottesville, I'm sure has come up at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Suckers and losers now. You don't even have to make it big. Let's just give me the audio and let me see what he's talking about, what direction he's going.
150 miles into Abbottabad at night.
Oh, he's going to tell us about how great our withdrawal from Afghanistan was?
Osama bin Laden was dead.
Oh, we're going back to the Obama. Okay. And Joe Biden, let me remind you, when asked if they should do this, Joe Biden said no. Will he talk about that?
Because nobody attacks our country and gets away with it. Nobody.
Only the people from the inside of the country.
Right.
That's what our warriors do. That's what our warriors do. Our warriors need a tough, cool-headed commander-in-chief to defend our democracy.
That's enough.
From tyrants.
And we're supposed to think that's her? People who are around her have said forever, you hear the stories of staff turnover.
Yeah.
You can't look her in the eye. She's using the F word all the time. She's irritable, and maybe more so than Biden is. She's horrific to be around. Oh, no, she's going to be a cool-headed leader, don't you worry, that we need. Really?
Yeah, we've seen her on the world stage, giggling and not knowing how to handle a press conference.
Friend in need is a friend indeed. I remember that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, she's cool-handed, man. She's tempered, and she'd be perfect. Yeah, if we want to get walked over, she'd be perfect.
So I guess to them, she is perfect.
Well, yeah,
because that's the goal, right? Tear us down.
Yeah. Let's do a little more. We didn't do that much, so we'll do a little more news. Kev, what else is on your radar?
So check this out. The good old days when the mob ran the unions is over. It looks like the UAW was pushing to get a Palestinian American, i.e. Someone who hates Israel, to speak at this little hoopla here. I don't know how this has happened, but the UAW president has backed Kamala Harris. I happen to know, being from Detroit, having a lot of people, family and friends who live there, and perhaps some of them work in some of the auto factories. No one on the line is for Kamala. Very few, if any. But the union is not only for Kamala, they're actually, there's a big fight. And the Democrats facing backlash. Democrats facing backlash on Thursday over its refusal to prominently feature a Palestinian American at its convention in Chicago. May I remind you that the towns of Dearborn Heights, Hamtramck, and my old neighborhood, Warrendale in Detroit, currently occupied largely by Arabs and Muslims, and they do have political clout there. They represent 2% of the population, and therefore likely the voting population. This is the reason I think that Kamala just went over Josh Shapiro's head, said, "No, we can't have any of those Jewish people here because we got to appease the ones that want to genocide them out of existence."
Yeah, Dearbornistan would not improve of Josh Shapiro.
Absolutely not. So she cratered to them, but they said, nope, we can't have an anti-Palestinian person on stage tonight. So now the UAW and the Democrat Party are having a little beef in Michigan, my hometown. Because they said, no, we're not going to do, which is surprising to me because they're letting the animals riot outside. Jewish protesters could not get a permit. They had to go to a private parking lot. Well out of the way.
Well, as we said, you had the current sitting president, two former presidents, two former first ladies, former secretary of state, all of which got up on the stage and not one word in support of Israel this whole week at this convention. Not a one. So that just tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Delgado, anything else on your radar that we haven't hit in the news?
The only thing that I had left over, if you want to hear some Chicago voters that are out on the street.
Yeah, sure.
We'll get you about a minute or so, or maybe we'll do the whole clip here. Cut number 4, here's some Chicago voters, and they tell you who they want to vote for.
Okay.
I'll vote for Trump. I'll go for Donald Trump. Me too. I'll go for Trump.
Who are you voting for in 2024?
Trump too.
And why is that, ma'am?
He the best president ever.
Has Barack Obama done anything for around here? And
he never did anything since he been in office.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he out. Trump the best.
Barack Obama. I ain't got no message to him. I don't mess with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a Trump supporter. Trump do more for black people and care more about black people. And Barack Obama ain't black. Just to let that be known.
What about Kamala Harris?
I don't with her either. Yeah. All Trump all day.
Yeah. What's your message to Donald Trump today?
Keep going. Come get us, man. We waiting on you.
I'm a Trump supporter, man. We gonna keep this going. Trump, he a real businessman. I'm a real Republican, man. I want Trump back in office second term.
What would be your message to Barack Obama?
I don't know, pump some money in here. Pump some money like Trump, you know?
Your message to Donald Trump?
Come on, man, get us to the Super Bowl, bro. Make America great, man. That's all I can say. Make America great.
Everyone's so friendly around here.
Yeah,
everyone's so friendly around here.
I love this.
I vote for the interviewing people. Yeah. You supposed to be somewhere chilling.
I need chain game like this. Here we go. Here we go.
What's up, my
guy?
Who
we need up in there? Who we finna let drop a bag in the hood? Who we want to get the bag?
Y'all know we gonna need Trump in that joint. Y'all know we gonna
find a soul around here. They gonna take Trump.
Y'all got to dig what's going on, man.
Yeah, I'm taking over Benny Show, man. It's Odie, man. I'm a YouTuber, man. Y'all get at me, man. Everything Trump over on this side of town. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can go everywhere. You see how dry this motherfucker is? We need Trump, boy. Whatever it's gonna do to make this flow back, man. Get it up. Let's get it going immediately, man. Benny, who you going for, Benny?
My president is making America great again, Donald
Okay,
Trump.
I'm going with Trump too. We got it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Amazing.
I need the job with you, man.
I love Chicago.
It's my long lost twin, man. Separated at birth, man.
Better tattoos, better style, better hair.
We both good looking though, man. That's all that count, man.
Better teeth and a better ride. All right.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
there you have it. I mean, that's right on the streets of Chicago. And that one guy says it probably best about 30, 40 seconds in. He says, "We're here. Come get us."
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, they've got to do more outreach between now and election day.
Yeah, and I know I looked this up. In 2020, Trump had 12% of the black vote. He's rocking 27% right now, and we've still got just under 3 months to go. And I always think the real race starts after Labor Day. People are home from vacation. The kids are back at school, and that's when you dig in. I will say this, though. When I was in Wilkes-Barre for the rally, turned the TV on for maybe half an hour, 3 commercials from Kamala in half an hour.
Yeah.
They're kicking them out there.
I'm getting a lot of people telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we'll take our last break here. Kevin Downey Jr., Rick Delgado, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. I believe we'll come back with more convention coverage of the DNC Night 4 right after this.
Oh, yeah. Have a good weekend. You're off tomorrow. Oh, thank you.
What?
We're still live on socials. Let me jump on the socials. Let's see what's going on. Trump leads Kamala by 11. We started with that one. That's my favorite story of the night, I think. Yeah. That was my favorite story. You know what's hilarious? When I've got one queued up ready to go, and then you take it. I'm like, damn it, I got to go to another one. Oh, every night. Every night. It's not every night, but a lot of them. I'm like, gosh, I was just going to do that one. I think we seek the same sort of stories out. They do. All right, good to see you, buddy. Thank you. You too. Drive safe.
Right home.
Yeah, baby.
Let's elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. For our troops stationed thousands of miles away, for my Marines of Lima Company, let's elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, who don't just respect our service, but revere it. Because the veterans who defended this country aren't just the reason we can sleep at night. They're the reason we can dream. And together, we'll fight for our veterans and everyone who served our country. Thank you.
Please welcome Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
I'm Governor Gretchen Whitmer. In Lansing, they call me Governor. But in Detroit, they call me Big Gretch. Donald Trump called me that woman from Michigan as an insult. Being a woman from Michigan is a badge of honor. Like women across America, we just GSD. Get stuff done. At 29,